Hi everyone, Cameron Gregg here. This is video 3 for Professor Byrnes Ecology class, and this video 3 is about the 4-part definition of ecology in an area. And the area I have selected is right behind my house. There's a stream here, and it's also fed by this freshwater spring, which comes out, well, you can see a flow right here, and so it comes out right in this general area. And it's full of different organisms. There are different species living like right under this big piece of log. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of little bugs under here. Many species like to live here. Whoa, oh my gosh, a family of salamanders. A bunch of pill bugs just ran away. So it's a very rich. There's a little salamander under there. See if you can get him to say hi. There he is. I'm gonna put their cover back on. Oh, and there's a millipede. So I'm gonna put the cover back on so that they can hide out under there and stay away from predators. You don't want them to enter the food chain too early. We like salamanders. So behind me in the stream, there's a number of fish, a number of little trout that will eat these little bugs that spawn in the wet areas around me, like these leaf beds of just gross rotting leaves that the insects love to eat, or love to spawn in, and then the fish will eat the larvae or the insects themselves when they land in the water. So besides the abundance of animal life, which includes this little snail or millipede thing on this piece of bark I found, there's also a number of different plant species in this area, including this leaf right there, which is skunk cabbage. It's very prevalent around me. You can see it everywhere, and it's poisonous. It has oxalic acid in its leaves that prevents most animals from eating it, except for deer. White-tailed deer, which are also extremely common in this area, love to eat it. They eat it. It's high in protein. They can eat it after they come out of winter when they don't have a lot to eat, and they'll chew it right down with no issues. There's another plant species that I'd like to point out in this area, and that is moss. As you can see, there's one type here, which is a little dead. It's just starting to come back in, and then there's this type, which appears to be a different type of moss. It's more bushy. And this one grows on this log here, this old dead log. And it's a showcase of the flux of energy and matter and the transformation as the dead nutrients of the rotting log feed this moss, and the extreme humidity and moisture coming from the stream and the surrounding dampness of the area. It's very wet here. It helps this moss grow, and underneath the moss there's little worms and other bugs that like to crawl around under the moss, which draw nutrients from both the moss and the rotting log, is where they get their food from and how they thrive. And it's this log alone could be its own ecological study, just because of how many different organisms are interacting with each other and with other different species, and with the moss that's growing on here and what they're eating in the logs. It's a good showcase of the different ways that energy and matter transfer through the food web in this log.